Okay, so I've been super busy lately. I just started a new job, and me and Ruby have been looking for new places to move into, which we finally got one that we at least like for the time being. So now I actually have some time to focus on the E36, fix it up, bring it back better than ever. It's been sitting there just sad with the power steering fluid leak. It's just been sitting there, and it bothers me every day to see it looking so just pitiful, covered in dirt. So I'm going to be repainting it, doing all of that, trying to get it to look decent, but I'm also going to be improving it, which I'm going to be adding a ton of angle to this thing very soon, which in order to do that, I'm going to have to install some big wheel spacers to push those front wheels out, which I'll just show you now. So here are the spacers, which they are 30 millimeters, so they're pretty large, but they're not too ridiculous, and they should give me the amount of poke and like clearance that I need. And they are hub centric, so they're at least somewhat decent as far as quality goes. They were relatively cheap, and they did come with the extended lug bolts, which with BMWs you need whenever you add spacers, because you need more threads to go into the hub so your wheels don't fall off. But they're spacers, I mean, not too much to talk about here. Now the reason I need these spacers is because whenever you add angle, your wheels go in more and they'll hit the frame. So in order to fix that, you just have to push your front wheels out really far. Now I have E34 wheels on already, which are low offset. I believe they stick out just over an inch more than stock. So they give me enough clearance to clear with the added angle from the rack spacers, but I'm going to be adding way more, so I need a lot more clearance. So I'm going to be installing those spacers, which I believe will give me just under an inch and a half. I'm not sure millimeters to inches, but I'll put it all up on the screen. But they're going to stick out well over 2 inches from where it is stock. So in order to make that work, I'm going to have to chop my fenders out, which don't worry about, I already got that cover. I'm going to install fender flares. I actually already have them. I'll probably be doing that this weekend. So don't worry about me hacking everything up. The car is going to be getting pampered very soon, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do as far as chopping out. I'm going to do that, and then I'll actually install the spacers, which hopefully will give me enough clearance. So here you can see my fenders, which you can see the line where I marked where the flares go. So I'm probably going to chop it out just around here somewhere. Now as far as the fender goes, you can see this wheel sticks out already really far, and I had to roll this fender a ton just to get it to fit. You can see this is completely pulled out where normally it'd be level and straight down. So I'm just going to start off and just completely chop these out, just go along somewhere around here. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll clean it up after I install the flares and everything, but I'm going to start working and knock this out. Alright, so I finished chopping up the fender, which I've actually only done the driver's side. I'm about to go do the passenger side. I just didn't feel like filming it twice, and I gotta hurry up because I'm about to head to work. So I'm probably just gonna show you all this, go to work, and when I come back I'll actually install the spacers. But let's take a quick look. I actually think it looks pretty cool, to be perfectly honest with you. So here's how I chopped it up, which is just a rough cut. I'll refine it later once I install the fender flare. But here is the line where I'm gonna put the flare, the top edge of it, which is still kind of like rough position, but that's pretty much where it's going to be. And I left about 1.5 inches of stuff just to attach it to, and I can always trim it down later, but it's plenty of tire clearance here. You can see it's like 2-3 inches, so it's pretty nice there. It might hit here, so I might end up having to chop it up more whenever I add angle. I'm not quite sure yet, but I pretty much left the back as untouched as I could go, so I just ended it right here into this. So it's real rough cut. I'm going to clean it up later, and obviously I'm going to spray it down with some enamel or something to keep it from rusting, but that's how it is for now. I'm going to head to work, and then I'm going to install the spacers. Also, before I go, I just thought I would quickly show you all how much of the flare I cut out and just show you from the top. And you can see I cut pretty much all of the OEM like flare that comes out of the fender, so there's pretty much none left, which whenever I install the fender flare, it'll probably come out to about here.
2,000 years later.
Alright, so I just got back from work and I went ahead and cut the passenger side fender out off camera, which all the stuff to do really is just throw these spacers on. There's not much to it, they're just spacers really. Alright, so I finished everything up, but before I show you all or do anything more, I'm going to just quickly hit full lock both ways to see if it rubs at all. Since I pushed the wheels out, I guess you would say they have like a bigger turning radius, so it might hit the front of the bumper or the back of the fender. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully I will get lucky and I won't have to do anything, but it's nice to check before I go out on the road driving or anything like that. Yeah, I got a little bit of a problem here. So this fender got all bent up, which the other side didn't rub at all, but I know exactly why this one did. It's because this fender is like a bit loose. I've only fastened like one of the like bolts that go on the bottom here. It's dented all up here on the front. I believe I like rode off a road or something like that and it just dented it up, so I guess I might have to bend that back and just fasten it to hold this in farther, because this side was getting bent up but the other one that's fastened how it's supposed to be was completely fine. But you can see here that it's completely smashed in here, so I'm gonna have to, I guess, just pull it out or something. But I guess I'm gonna fix it. It's not too big of a deal, but it sucks just to have a little clearance issues like that. But I was worried about it hitting here, which it didn't also. I'm happy about that. But now that I got that out of the way, let's actually look at the car. So from the front you can instantly tell that the car looks way wider, which is pretty hard to tell on video, but in person you see just how far the tires stick out. And plus I'm used to looking at the car every day, so I can tell the difference is just, it's crazy to me. Now you can see how I cut them out. I showed them earlier, but the fender flares actually test fit them earlier and they come out to about like right here. So fitment's gonna be pretty good, and I am gonna lower the car back down, which I've raised it about an inch from where it used to sit. And really I'm just trying to ditch these big tires in the front. They're pretty bald already just from scrubbing, I guess, drifting or whatever. But I'm gonna get rid of it, and it should give me enough tire clearance between the frame, which is kind of hard to tell. And these coilovers, they look brand new for like over a year, and then this winter they got all salty and just they corroded so much, so I need to paint them or just buy new ones. But I can't really show you inside, but you can see there's way more clearance. Before, the tire would be around here, it's pretty close to the coilover, which before with these stock wheels it actually rubbed the coilover, so it's sticking out at least probably about 2.25 inches out farther from where it does stock. But I'm not going to sit here and blabber too much about spacers and how far the wheels stick out. Just know that the car is going to be changing very rapidly very soon. I'm about to install the angle. I'm actually going to do the angle before the flares just so I can make sure I get the fitment and everything with the flares correct. I don't want to put the flares on, then add angle and it's just rubbing everywhere. I just want to get it right, take my time, and just have it set up perfectly, which I'm going to be doing a ton to the car. I have a new job now, so I actually have money coming in, which I know all of you are going to ask about the turbo build. I'm trying to get underway, but there's a lot of other stuff I have to handle. I actually had to pay a lawyer $400 for that traffic ticket I got in that video a while back, which I'm finally handling, which I paid $400 for that. And on top of that, I have to take a driving course, which is $120. It's like 4 hours long, and it's terrible. And on top of that, I'm moving into a new place the 13th of next month, which got to put down payment and stuff on that. I'm just getting killed money-wise, and I'm just super busy at work. It sucks, but I'm starting to just get everything handled so I can get back to focusing on cars, put some money into it, get the turbo build going, angle, paint the car, just get it looking decent. It's been real raggedy lately. But that's pretty much it. I'm just going to wrap it up there instead of just talking on and on. So let me know what you all think. If you like the fitment, cut it out, and if you're excited for flares, whatever, just let me know. I like talking to you all. It's real cool. And as always, if you have any questions or something, just let me know. But subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until then.